Hi, this is Tom. Welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to share a few ideas involved with doing web apps and just using AI in general. So the three ideas are how to use a project, ChatGPT project, to group texts together. A second idea is how you can use ChatGPT to write in different voices. I'll explain what that means in a moment. And then a third idea is to use different AI for different tasks that you can mix and match to take advantage of what you find that different AIs do well, or how you like they do a particular thing. So first of all, let me show the app real quick here. So this app is on Unintended Consequences. So unintended consequences, you have a problem, then you have a solution, and then the unintended consequence. And I have 4 different sources. One is Reason, which is a YouTube channel, and then these 3 came from the internet. So, and this is another thing, I guess this is the fourth thing. So I wanted to mention is that you can do research on YouTube videos, and ChatGPT is very good at that. I'm sure the other AIs are too. And this is something you can do to improve the quality that you have on, like one of the things people complain about, AI slop, they call it. And that is AI has, very good general knowledge, but sometimes it can get things wrong. If you have it do research, that improves the quality of the output quite a bit, because now it's referencing against something that that someone has actually put together. So that's all right. So let me jump to the project. So here's a project that I used, Unintended Consequences. And the way that I set it up was I had one chat session for video content, and then another for internet content, and then just ask ChatGPT to find these and put them together in the same way so that they're all consistent. They all have a problem, an intended solution, and then the oops at the end. And there's a lot of this material, as you could see from what I was showing in the app. And I'm sure I could have found a lot more, but I just stopped with 4 different ones. So I had to do the research and then put together the content in terms of the 3 ideas. And then I wanted to mention 2 other things. So one is that if you do edit and then instructions, then you can tell it what you want it to do for your project. And this is very effective because the way that the prompt, the way that the AI receives the information is, first of all, it'll come from a system prompt that comes from OpenAI, and then second, it'll read the instructions, and then third, it'll read the prompt that you write. So whenever you do a prompt, every time it's reading those instructions and including that. So that can really help in the quality of what you're wanting to do, or you can set how you want it to do it. Excuse me, the tone that it's using, just whatever is important that you want it to do in every prompt for your project. And I did this in ChatGPT. I set up the instruction set first, and then I created the project and then put in the instructions for it. It works really well. That's a really good idea. And then the second thing I wanted to mention is recently I went on vacation in Mazatlan, and these are just regular chat sessions. I don't have any instructions for this one, but I was able to group the chats together. It's a very convenient way that if I wanted to find something about what I was doing, I could find it. And also ChatGPT has gotten a lot better at remembering things across sessions. And so things I wrote about Mazatlan in one session, it could look and find out in another session Pretty well. It's not perfect, but better than 50-50. It would know what I was talking about. Okay, so that was a couple things about projects. Real handy thing to know about. And then I wanted to mention about using different voices. So this is a really cool thing that AI is good at. So I'll show this. So the first voice, and when I say voice, I'm talking about a writing voice. So this is the default way that ChatGPT writes. So you can see it's very clipped. And for example, it says, it's just very, very short, very concise. So South Florida wanted an artificial reef to boost marine habitat and tourism. Then it's got the solution, intended solution, and then unintended consequence. Storm snapped the tires roamed the seafloor. So it's very terse, it's okay, but not my favorite writing style. So I played around with having it write in other writing voices. So this one is Will Rogers. So folks just wanted their cattle to feel chipper enough to plow another day. They found a wonder drug. Then it says, but nobody stopped to ask how the cleanup crew felt about it. So this was a little cryptic I found, because this is talking, let me continue here, I'll explain real quick. It says, turns out vultures don't take kindly to pharmaceuticals. They ate the leftovers, keeled over by the thousands, and left stray dogs to run the catering business. So this is better, I would say. It's got that folksy feel to it. AI is pretty good at imitating other voices. So I had to do Will Rogers and Mark Twain and different ones, but it wasn't terribly clear about what was going on. So I did a rewrite with Claude, and this was very clear. So here it explains what was going on. South Asian farmers needed affordable veterinary medicine to keep working livestock healthy. It used this drug, and then here is the problem. Vultures feeding on the carcasses absorbed the drug and suffered catastrophic kidney failure. 3 vulture species crashed by over 95% in barely a decade, making it one of the fastest declines of any bird in history. And then it talked about how dogs will end up taking over the role of vultures and cleaning up carrion, but it caused problems with the dogs too. So very clear explanation. So I wound up going with this for the web app that I gave. I'm going to include the the URL for the web app if you're interested in taking a look at it. It's kind of a fun app to go through. And this will work well on it works best on a desktop because you have more space, but it does work fine on a phone as well. So you can go through and play for it if you want. And so the last thing that I wanted to mention was when I wrote this app, I actually wound up using 3 different AI. I used Gemini to actually write the app. And what I intended to do at first was to have different AI do a proof of concept, but I liked what Gemini did so well, I just went with it. I thought this card solution was very, very good. It's excellent. You have the problem, reveal the solution, and then reveal the consequence, and then you can go on, to the next card. So I really like that. I got the information from ChatGPT, and then I wound up using Claude, who I would say is the best AI at writing, to actually write the content for the article, give it to Gemini, to make the web app. So the point there that I wanted to share is that you can use different AI, and all the AI have free versions. So even if you have, if you're watching this, there's a good chance you get a paid version to some AI like ChatGPT, but you can use the free versions of the different apps to help do different things. and put them together. Or what I do is I just have the paid, but I have the minimal, not the expensive one, paid version for Gemini and Claude and ChatGPT. So that way my budget hobby is about $50 a month, and it's a very powerful way of being able to use AI and get a lot done. So to summarize, one is you can use chat projects as a nice way of grouping chats, and also to put together ideas that you have for more complicated things, leveraging the instructions to help out and giving information across different chat sessions to keep what you're doing, what's the word I want, to keep it consistent across different chat sessions. But you can just use chats, projects as a nice way of grouping chat sessions together. So that's a nice thing to know too. So that was one thing. The second thing I wanted to show was the idea of using AI to write in different voices, like Will Rogers, Mark Twain, whoever you can think of that you like their writing style. That's a really fun thing to do. And then the third idea that I wanted to share is the idea of using different AIs to do different tasks. And you can find that you like the way the different AI do different things and kind of go back and forth between them to do different things. That's a very effective way of using AI. Well, thanks for watching, and until next time.